What's up, everybody? I'm Scott,
I'm Jason.
and you're listening to Liquid Kernedge. What's up, buddy?
It's a special Liquid Kernedge today.
It is Thanksgiving week.
It is Thanksgiving week, and today is being released on Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to all of our listeners listening to us instead of being with their families. We appreciate that. We know you'll have to go to your families at some point, but until then, we'll give you a half hour of respite.
I think what better way to celebrate the times with family and friends is to listen to Liquid Kernedge.
Right? I mean, who doesn't want to fire off one of our greatest hits in front of the whole family after they explain to grandma and grandpa what a podcast is,
Yeah,
and then why they think that they should have to listen to two idiots with their own instead of having family conversations.
Well, I think one of the things that makes us such a wonderful podcast and what we get complimented on is that two friends, if they were sitting in a bar just having conversations about life, this is what it would sound like. And, that touching of the heartstrings to say that, Thanksgiving is about friends and family. What better podcast to listen to?
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, some people do look at Thanksgiving as the pregame show to what follows, which is Christmas. But to me, it's an often overlooked, especially this year holiday. This year, especially being at the very end of November.
Yes.
And everyone's rushing to get their Christmas stuff up because, God help us, they want to make sure they have the Christmas stuff up as long as possible before December 25th.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know what your holiday tradition is, but mine, I don't put lights up or Christmas tree up the week of Thanksgiving. So I'm not sure what your plans are this year, but right now my tree is not up.
Well, I will do it from Thanksgiving evening on if I'm going to decorate. I think that's fine because I think you have to pay respect to the holiday.
Okay.
But this year especially, I've gotten really irritated with people starting Christmas shit, and I'll just call it that, Christmas shit, much earlier than Thanksgiving. I'm talking like November 15th. We were barely out of Veterans Day, and I started seeing Christmas lights go up. I started seeing the signs be put out, people trying to blare the Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You. And I made some posts on Facebook, and I'm not trying to get on a soapbox, and I'm not trying to get nailed on our notes by the EP. I'm just asking that people respect the holiday that is in front of us, which is Thanksgiving. And after Thanksgiving, after you've had your pumpkin pie, you want to go get wild with Black Friday and Christmas, by all means, be my guest. But until then, respect the holiday.
Yeah, I mean, this is a start of a pretty stressful time all the way around. I mean, you have the turn of the weather, starts to get a little colder outside. Then you've got the stresses of being with families during Thanksgiving and all the cooking. And then it jumps right into the month of December, which is colder outside. And then trying to get with people to do Christmas presents. And it's a stressful time.
It's very stressful, and it's something that can really make people dread this time of year if they have to go to their in-laws' house, they don't like each other, or if they know that aunt and uncle that they get in arguments with are coming, so they have to play nice, or if they have to set up, God help you, set up travel plans. There's a lot of moving pieces, and it's hard, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. And as a result, those stresses then carry out to anger like what you're experiencing, where, hey, give us some space between putting up the Christmas lights too early.
Well, I don't want to say it's anger about that. I'm just frustrated that, Thanksgiving's traditionally been one of my favorite holidays. I think it's something that's a lot of fun because the football and people are out, playing football in the parks. There's 5K runs in the morning. It's a fun day in the middle of the week. It breaks up the work week, and then you have this massive feast, and then you would gently glide into the Christmas season. Now they start putting Christmas stuff up in Walmart and Home Depot in September, and it's full bore until after the actual holiday itself.
Yeah, we're actually celebrating Thanksgiving this year at our house. Family is coming to our house to celebrate Thanksgiving, so we're getting to that point where all this last weekend we were getting the house cleaned up and buying furniture and getting everything ready to go. And then tonight and the rest of this week, we've got to start cleaning and getting food ready. And, for a joyous time with family, it sure seems stressful.
I bet, man.
Yeah.
This year we're the very opposite. It's only the four of us. It's only my parents, the EP, and I at our family Thanksgiving this year, and it's a lot more low key. For the first time in my 38 years, we're not having a traditional Thanksgiving, so I think it's kind of fun. It's a break from family, which is nice, and it's a chance for us to actually just reconnect as the four of us because it seems like that gets lost in all this chaos of the holidays.
When you say reconnect, what does that mean?
Um, when you have aunts and uncles and coming to visit and whatnot, you have to put the focus on them and what they're doing, and you don't really have a chance to sit and actually talk with your family. I live in the same town as my parents, so I see them all the time. So to me, it's not that big a deal. But for the four of us to be around the table, it only happens maybe 3 times a year. And I'm gonna get there again. There's notes on the podcast. I know they're coming. He's gonna say or 93 goes both ways.
Yeah, well, it does. It
It
really
does.
does. I mean,
It does. But in fairness, I work full time. I've got jobs that have me working on weekends, and my parents are retired and they're traveling everywhere but Phoenix. So uh, it's all a work in progress.
yes. Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough.
But I want to hear from our listeners. Do you set up for Christmas before Thanksgiving, or do you do the right thing and wait till after Thanksgiving? Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all at Liquid Kernedge. Or do you want a chance to have our EP Tom come out and set up your Christmas lights? Hit him up on Twitter and Instagram at liquid_EP. He's gonna hate that one.
Yeah, he's gonna definitely hate that one. But yeah, the other thing that's we experienced last weekend was there's this constant pressure of what do you want for Christmas? What do you want for Christmas?
Oh
What do you
fuck,
want for
right?
Christmas? What do you want for Christmas? And I've gotten to the age where I don't have young kids anymore, right? So I don't have to worry about, you know, only getting nice things for Christmas. If I want something, I just go buy it.
Yeah.
So the idea of doing things for Christmas and planning it out is a little stressful to me.
Yeah, it is, and my family has the same problem. And over the last couple of years, we switched to the Amazon wish list just to make life easier. But then you get stressed out. I know I get stressed out trying to figure out what I want to put on my wish list because I'm like you. I'm older. I don't have any kids, so if I want it, I go buy it. Tom is the same way. And my parents at this point, if they wanted, they go buy it. So you really strain trying to figure out what you want to put on that wish list. And if you look at my wish list versus Tom's wish list, I'm all probably cooking stuff. He's probably more tech savvy stuff. He's having stuff that's pushing $600 and $700. He's like servers and I don't know whatever else that they do on there. And I had to actually text him because he put an item on there that was only $50, and I had to make sure it was an actual item he wanted on there. And he went on a diatribe about how we're always on him about putting decently priced items on there instead of this giant wish list that of everything that's a couple $100 a pop.
Now, okay, but on the other side, then you get into the habit of, like, I hear a lot of people say, well, Christmas is more about the art of giving yourself to people that you love, and it shouldn't be about the materialistic things until you go to someone's house for Christmas and there's 15,000 gifts for you and you bring one item.
Yeah.
And then you feel like a total shithead.
Yeah.
And that I've run into that several times where there's an old comedy bit by Eddie Murphy where he talks about dads get screwed over at Christmas time. Like dads will buy the new bicycles and all the toys and the G.I. Joes. And then dad's got one present under the tree. It's signed by all the kids. And it's Brute by Fabergé. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah.
You want to be giving, but you also don't want to be the one person that says, "Oh, I got you one gift," and then you're looking and they got you like $1,000 worth of gifts, and you're like, "Oh, I got you Brute by Fabergé."
Yeah, Brute Fabergé. Yeah,
you cheap ass motherfucker.
And I think it's different for every family too. It's not. I've witnessed that. It's some families actually make their gifts for their family, which I think is kind of cool. And others just like us, like we're straight Amazon. it's we don't even try to hide that anymore. It's just go to the Amazon wish list. If it's not there, double check with one of us to make sure that you're on the right track. If you're going to go off script and try to surprise us.
Hey, so I have a question for you. What is your
Uh-huh.
what are your thoughts about a gift card versus an actual gift that's wrapped?
I don't mind a gift card. I think those actually work better in a lot of respects because why am I going to guess on what you want when I can give you the money to go get what you want? That way you're actually going to use it.
Well, and the devil's advocate in me would say, yeah, but a lot of people feel that a gift card is a very impersonal gift. That's like something you give to someone you don't know, don't care about, and that
Uh-huh.
a gift that's wrapped and under the tree it means more to them on an emotional level.
Well, on some levels I can agree with that, but as Tom will attest, trying to find anything to get our dad for Christmas is next to impossible. And he's been that way for years. If you look on his wish list, just as an example, he has a scope lens for his gun that actually, or for hunting, that you attach to the iPhone so it can zoom in better. You can get a better idea for the lay of the land, and that's been on there for 2 years. And it's only the
See,
thing is, it's only like $25, but
okay.
no one's in a hurry to get that for him because, like, come on, man, like, what do you want? Like, find something that you're going to use. And we've guessed for years. We've guessed on video game systems or toys or camping equipment, and he might use it once. Like last year, my mom and I went back and forth, and she got him a drone. I think he played with it 3 times.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so it's one of those where it's kind of like the little kid that buys the new hot toy and they play with it 3 or 4 times and then say, I'm done.
Yeah, well, it's when he retired from DPS, his squad got together and they got him a gift card to Cabela's or Bass Pro, whatever one of the stores are,
Yeah.
and it probably took him a year and a half to actually use it. And it wasn't because he didn't get there; it was more or less because he couldn't decide on what he wanted. So he would go in there and look and change his mind 5 or 6 different times. So it's different. I think it's easier to give gift cards in that case because if he's going to change his mind 5 or 6 times, there's no way in hell you could find something and just hit it right on the head. You know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have we're having the same problem. It's like I keep getting asked by Noreen, well, what do you want for Christmas? And it's like, man, part of me is like, I don't know. Like, part of me says, do I want one big gift or do I want a bunch of little small gifts? So this year I just told her, look, if you want to give me something, I want to get the new AirPods, the sport AirPods or the pro
Ooh,
AirPods, and I
yeah.
want to get a new pair of running shoes.
If they're
But
like the Beats Pro, you're gonna love them.
yeah, well, and I have some AirPods right now that I love. But here's the problem. Those are expensive gifts. I mean, so
Yeah,
is it better to get like the same amount of money broken up over a bunch of little gifts or get like one or two big gifts, but then you don't have much to open at Christmas?
it depends on the need. I think. Yeah, I think it really depends on how much you're going to use it versus a bunch of small things. Yeah, they're cool, but like, how often am I really going to use that?
Yeah. Yeah. I've always liked gifts where like my dad, what Christmas was his holiday. I mean, that
Yeah,
was his holiday. And so when you asked him, "Hey dad, do you have a Christmas list?" like he pulled it out like cousin Eddie did in Christmas Vacation. You know what I mean? Like he
yeah.
already had it ready to go. He had it, but his items were, I want this new pair, I want a couple pairs of socks.
Yeah,
I really need a new hat because sometimes I don't keep the heat on in the house because I can't afford heat. So I need one of those little beanie hats. You know what I mean? Like, so his gifts were nothing too extravagant. His gifts were very practical, but literally he had
but
his list ready to go.
isn't that part of what growing up is? Because I get more excited sometimes about a vacuum cleaner or socks for Christmas because, yeah, I put off buying those things because I have other stuff I have to go get or I need to do first.
Yeah, yeah. So this year, Sam and Taylor got me a Christmas gift, but they had to give it to me early, and they got Noreen and I 2 tickets to the Rams Cardinal game next weekend
Oh,
or this
oh,
weekend,
that's
I guess. So to
wow.
me, that's like the perfect Christmas gift because I don't think I normally would have gone myself just Because
Yeah.
Noreen asked me, "Hey, do you want to go?" Nah, not really. Whatever. But because I got it as a gift, it's like the perfect gift because I'm excited now. I've got something
Yeah.
more.
Now you can go enjoy the day and
Yeah, make a day out of it, and have some fun. So those are the kind of gifts that I like. The ones where, yeah, I don't necessarily need it, but if you got it for me, I get really excited about having it because, like you said, I didn't spend it on myself. So you getting it for me makes it that much better.
yeah, and I know there's a lot of gifts I use like that I probably wouldn't normally buy it for myself, but they're so useful.
Yeah,
I can't live without them now.
yeah, yeah.
But those are few and far between for me anymore. I'm with you. I go out and buy it if I need it. Until this time of year, once we get to about September, I start second guessing a lot of it, trying to
Right.
figure out, can I hold off? Because I know in a few weeks, mom's going to start asking, and I'm going to have a blank stare on my face. So I better figure something out.
Now, for our listeners out there that have young kids, this is a totally different conversation because you can't just nickel and dime to kids. I mean, that they
No.
require gifts, and some of them might still believe, or sorry, some of them wait for Santa Claus to come. And so you have those stresses of making sure you have the right cookies out. And I don't know about you, but we used to leave the oats for the reindeer, a couple carrots and the oats so that they had something to eat too
Mm-hmm.
because you felt bad. So for kids, I totally get it. It's something that Santa Claus is a real deal, and you got to set it up for it.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think at that point, you start looking at like presents for kids way earlier. I mean, you know, because that can get pretty expensive. So you want to make sure you have a good timeline to go out and go get the things that they're going to want, or figure out what the hot toy is, and you can stash that stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
yeah,
a little bit
that's
different because kids want everything, and they're happy with some toys, and you can gamble. Even if you gamble wrong, like a video game system, it's still pretty good for them.
yeah. Well, they can always say, "Oh, I don't like this game." Okay, let's go get you another game.
Yeah, we'll switch it out.
Yeah. So, but now, what are your thoughts though about being that this is a time to be together as a family and the gifts really don't matter?
I'm cool with it. I think, like I said, every family's different. I don't think presents are that big of a deal to, at least to my family anymore. It is what it is. We're all in the same, like I said, we're all in the same boat. We'll go get whatever we normally need to get instead of having to wait for Christmas if we can help it. So it's just having dinner together and spending some time. The last couple of years for Christmas for us as a family has been really nice because it's been around the weekend.
Oh,
So Tom's been able to come up, and we made a tradition to go watch the football game at the bar, the Cardinals game, whatever it is. We'd go to the bar and watch the game, and then either we'd go to the Christmas Eve mass or do the family thing. But it was something that we made a point to do together.
now there is a pet peeve of mine that you're going to think I'm a bah humbug on, but
Well,
we
I'm
found
sure we're
that
gonna get a lot of bah humbug comments on this one anyway.
yeah,
So go ahead.
I found the one thing that really just for whatever reason drives me absolutely insane. So for those of you who may not live in Kingman, we have a couple of really well-off families that do a very amazing light show
Oh
on their properties, right? Big
yeah,
light
yeah.
show, and you tune into a certain radio station and their
They have a
music.
Halloween show now too.
Oh wow. Okay, so they take it to the level, but these houses are huge houses, so they have huge yards that they've done very decoratively. I have run into the Phoenix version of those houses, but the yard is like your size yard, where they
Ugh.
have packed it with so much. There's a village inside this person's small little fenced yard of buildings and workshops for elves, and it just looks okay, bah humbug. It looks ridiculous. It looks so stupid. Yet when I'm driving on the road, there are people parked in front of this person's house already. It's not even past. We are on Thanksgiving. They are already parked in front of this person's house watching the lights for this little cramped front yard. Pet peeve, stresses me out. Why are people doing this?
Yeah, I get that. I mean, and it makes sense to me. It's some people really get into the season, and they really get into, these are the people that skip over Thanksgiving and go straight to Christmas right after Halloween. They're the ones that are going Black Friday shopping. They're lined up with their shopping carts at 6 p.m. at Walmart because they have to get all those toys or whatnot. Spoiler alert on a sidebar: if you're gonna go Black Friday shopping at Walmart at 6 p.m., I'm gonna tell you this, and you might not believe me, but it's true. Everything that you're gonna buy there that night in that crowd will still be there at 6 a.m. the next morning because they do buy enough.
Oh, okay, they do.
They do.
Sometimes those TVs and stuff, they don't have enough of those.
Oh, those TVs they still have there all weekend. I've seen those for years.
Okay.
There might be a very few hot ticket items, but every website like Amazon or Best Buy is going to have those video games and everything else at the same price. So
I remember the year that 7 of us got a crock pot.
That's right.
Remember, we were sitting there, Noreen, grab us a crock pot. We had 7 crock pots in our
and they were all $10 crock pots. I still have mine.
Yep, still have ours
I mean,
too.
it works amazing. But it's if it's your tradition, it's your tradition.
Yeah.
And I get like you want to get jazzed because maybe you got young kids or in your mind you think it's the holliest, jolliest time of the year. And I do appreciate the people like that in the world because it balances out the people like us.
Yeah, that's
not
true.
that we're bah humbugs, but I think that you and I are more realistic and understand that there's a lot of things to be happy about, but the world doesn't get put on pause, and there are still bad things happening.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. Noreen has the unfortunate problem that her birthday is in December as well. So yes. I think anyone that's born in December and January kind of get hosed a little bit because so much effort is put in on Christmas presents that if you're born, like I think about Jeff Sutton, our buddy Jeff. He's born on the 31st of December. So he has Christmas, and then immediately he has a birthday that comes up, and it's like, I already got you a lot for your Christmas presents. So here's some wrapping paper for your birthday present.
Yeah, our buddy Bennett, same way.
Yeah,
December,
exactly.
January 2nd.
Yeah, Noreen is the same way. Like I'm getting, amassing some gifts, but it's like, okay, which ones do I use for birthday, and which ones do I use for Christmas?
See, that's why you have yours set up pretty well being in August, and I'm just coming out of that season in February, so it's not that big a deal for me anymore.
You have enough separation that your birthday separates out, But and then mine, like you said, mine's perfect because mine's in the summer, so those kind of things don't stress me out. But it gets a little stressful because when you ask Noreen, well, what do you want for your Christmas? Oh, I'm sorry, and your birthday too. Give me both. And she's like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, I think as you get older, you want the experiences more than the actual presents. And I think you want the family together and you want to go do the things with the people and you want to enjoy that time and make some memories. Cause I think that goes a whole lot further.
Do you buy into the notion that some people have that people around Christmas time are just happier?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, I don't know. I think it depends. I think, that is that goes with the ebbs and flow of life. If, you just started dating that person, or maybe your kids are getting to that fun age, or, you just got a promotion at work right that year. So you're on an upswing in life. Yeah. Maybe the holidays seem happy and jolly, more pleasant, as it were. And, I've experienced the opposite where you're going through a massive breakup, you're divvying everything up, you're trying to figure life out and start anew. And it's painful to see people be that happy and that festive when that's all you want to, and you can't have that. So it's a very, different feeling for a lot of people, I'm sure.
Yeah. It's never good when something bad happens around Christmas time.
Yeah, and so it's like I said. I think generally people want to be happy because it's the happiest time of the year. All the Christmas specials we grew up with are all on TV. A Charlie Brown Christmas, and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, A Christmas Story, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. All the classics are there. So Die Hard, obviously.
Hans Gruber, baby.
Hans Gruber, and so it puts you in a good mood.
I remember a story my dad told me when he was a young man, probably like 19. didn't really have family at the time, and he was working up in a ski lodge. And he was working Christmas Day, and on Christmas Day he was washing dishes in the back kitchen, and he said he remembered vividly he was all alone, and he looked through the window and he saw this big family who had guest catered or who had reserved the lodge and was having a Christmas party, and all those people were joyous and having a good time with each other as family. And he said it was such a vivid memory that he told himself he would never spend Christmas alone again. And, I
Wow.
think about it, it's like one of the things that we used to do was to clothe the kid, opportunity to clothe the kid where you take the underprivileged children and take them
Underprivileged kids shopping,
shopping.
yeah.
We, throughout the whole year, the police and the firefighters and Kiwanis and they all gathered money, raised money to basically give underprivileged children the opportunity to go and do some shopping, and whether it was clothes or new shoes or toys, and I just remember that Christmas is the time to remember that it could be a lot worse and be thankful that it's a lot better. And with all the complaining I've
See,
done over this episode, I still remember that we're pretty blessed.
and we are very blessed, and I have a lot of fond memories of the Clothe the Kid program, and I think I did it for 7 or 8 years. But toward the end there, you start seeing the reality of some of those people that were milking the system and just getting the free rides. They have to buy their kids Christmas presents, and it jades you after a while. And I think for me that was part of the problem, and why I had to stop is because I stopped having fun doing it, realizing that was the same people every year that weren't trying to improve their lives. So why, it's the old Little Kim lyric, why spend mine when I can spend yours?
Oh, wow.
And then people coming and trying to return presents so they can their kids presents so they can buy the stuff they want, or following us because the parents weren't allowed to go, and the parents would follow us with the kid and try to convince the kid to buy something for the parents, and it was bad, man.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, boy, we are bah humbugs, man. We need to get in the spirit.
I was like, it's bah humbug. It's just realistic, man. It's like I'm not taking away from anyone's happiness and joy. Like if you want to enjoy the Christmas season, now that you're listening to this show on new release day, it's time. Have your dinner, have your turkey, do your Black Friday shopping, set up your decorations. I'm not going to bitch at you. I think it's the time of the year. Go for it. You won't hear a bah humbug from me, but I swear to God, if you do it next year between Veterans Day and Thanksgiving, I'm going to say something, and I'm going to be blunt. And everyone out there knows who they are because I know I've said something to them before. I know you're listening to the show. So don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm giving you a chance next year. Wait till after Thanksgiving, or I'm going to say something. I'm going to put you on blast.
The one thing I want to tell you is if you have a small front yard, keep the decorations appropriate for the size of your front yard. Okay? You do not have to try to fit every single inch of acreage on your front yard to have something in it. Less is more. Pet peeve.
I agree. I think we want to take out of this today is we want to know what you're looking forward to most on Thanksgiving. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, all at Liquid Kernedge. What's your favorite part about Thanksgiving? Is it the cranberries? Is it the shopping afterward? Is it watching the Cowboys lose? We want to know. If you want to hear Tom live stream the notes this week, hit him up on Twitter and Instagram, all at liquid_EP. We will be doing that on Thanksgiving afternoon. For those still listening, look for the live feed on Instagram under the Liquid Kernedge page. He has asked that we live stream his breakdown of this week's show. So that could be very interesting because if I know my brother, he will be drinking during dinner, so he could be hammered for this.
A drunk history with
So
the notes.
It may not. It's not a drunk history.
Oh,
it's
I
a
love
drunk
it.
present.
Okay, that sounds good.
Oh man! With that being said, Jason, why don't you go ahead and just take us home on this festive holiday?
Well, happy Thanksgiving,
week.
Everyone. And like we said earlier, if you have friends out there who you feel like need that sense of camaraderie, this podcast is right up their alley. So recommend us to your friends and family for this wonderful Thanksgiving time, that we are the podcast that's embracive and inclusive of everyone. Liquid Kernedge. Wow.
that we embrace. We're
No,
not
no,
abrasive. I
embrace.
want to
Yeah, we don't want
clarify
to
that
be
we're
abrasive.
no, we embrace. We're not. We are kind
Yes,
of abrasive sometimes. We mean embrace. And on a serious note, if you know someone that's alone this time of year, or you think might be depressed, man, reach out to them, say hi, spend some time with those people. There might be a bigger problem they're going through and just need someone to talk to. So do the right thing and don't let anybody
that's
spend a
right.
holiday
Well,
alone.
on that note, thanks for listening, everyone. That was Scott. I am Jason, and as always, if you never know quite what to say, just have yourself some liquid Kernedge.